Does your dog tremble or pace during thunderstorms? Or maybe your cat runs and hides when any unfamiliar visitors come over. Anxiety in pets is a common challenge for many pet parents. So let's explore how to recognize anxiety in both cats and dogs, and we can go over some practical steps to help you make them feel more secure and calm. Pets experience anxiety much like we do. It's essentially fear from stress in anticipation of something perceived as a threat. It might be triggered by loud noises, separation, new environments, or even unfamiliar people or even animals. While a little nervousness is normal, chronic anxiety negatively affects your pet's health. Common signs of anxiety in dogs and cats include body language changes such as crouching, tail tucking, ears pinned back, and whole body trembling, behaviors like hiding or retreating, which is common in cats, clinging to the owners, which is common in your lap doggies, and then pacing, restlessness, and hypervigilant scanning of their environment. Some cats and dogs become very vocal or may actually go completely silent when they're normally quite talkative. They might also show strange signs like panting, drooling, even when it's not hot, have a throbbing heart rate, dilated pupils, or even start shedding like crazy. And then ultimately you can get severe signs like destructive behavior or inappropriate behavior, scratching doors, chewing furniture, having accidents indoors. And then cats may actually over-groom themselves in areas such as their abdomens. Seeing these behaviors can be really upsetting, and that may actually cause anxiety for you as the owner. And then that makes the pet more anxious and it just spirals from there. But what can actually trigger this anxiety in pets? Things like separation and being alone, that's one, but loud noises like firecrackers or even your unfamiliar environments like a new house or even having a baby. Those are the most common things that I see as a practicing family veterinarian. If you have a rescue dog, they may also have some unknown or past traumas that might flare up or cause tremendous anxiety in them. Social conflict or lack of socialization, especially for cats, may cause tension in a multi-cat household, or changes in the social group can also cause chronic stress. In dogs, it's more about not being exposed to various people and environments as a puppy, and that could lead to fear later in life. Identifying and knowing your pet's triggers also helps you to anticipate and manage these situations before they escalate. So let's discuss on how we can reduce and manage your pet's anxiety. The foundation and one of the most effective ways to help an anxious pet is to set up their environment to be comforting and secure. Start by providing a safe space that your pet can retreat to when they're feeling stressed. For dogs, this could be a crate, a comfortable bed, or even a quiet room. Make the crate or the bedding quite inviting and soft, and add their favorite toy. For cats, it's more about hiding spots like a covered cat bed, a high perch on a cat tree, or even just a simple cardboard box in a quiet area that can serve as their little safe haven. Maintain a consistent routine as much as possible. Feeding, playtime, walks, all of that should be in and around the same time of day. A predictable daily routine really helps a pet to feel secure because they know what to expect. If you know a stressful event is coming, you'll be away for the day or for a long time of the day or even fireworks, make sure there is someone there to comfort them or at least provide them with that safe space. A major unutilized strategy is adequate physical activity and mental enrichment. These are natural stress relievers for pets. A tired dog who's had a brisk walk or some fun play session with you is generally less prone to having anxious energy. You mix in some mental exercises there with like food puzzle, toys, and short training sessions. Wow. Crisp. For cats, interactive plays with a wand toy or a laser, to stimulate that hunting experience, can burn off excessive energy. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of playing can help to relax a cat. And as I said, providing enrichment toys like treat dispensing puzzles or even hidden kibbles around the house really keep their minds occupied, especially when they're alone. Little bonus tip, go onto YouTube and search TV for dogs and cats. This is like gentle nature videos specifically designed and programmed to distract and relax your pet. Pheromones and calming scents. We use these all the time in the clinic and they are great. DAP or dog appeasing pheromone and feline facial pheromone are synthetic relaxing pheromones that gets normally excreted by your pet and are fantastic at what they do. Now, next is not my favorite, but aside from pheromones, you can use calming scents like certain essential oils like lavender oil, but I would explore other options rather. For my holistic people out there, there are some natural supplements that you could try, like valerian root, chamomile, theanine, and L-tryptophan, which are amino acids. And these are pretty accessible at most pet stores. I just think they work as well as you hope they do most of the time. Now, a really cool one is some interesting new research on the gut-brain connection suggests that certain probiotic strains might actually reduce anxiety. One example is a thing called Bifidobacterium longum, or BL999. They're used in canine supplements and powders, even your Purina Pro Plan calming care. Over several weeks, some owners actually reported their dogs seeming way more relaxed and handling anxiety triggers way better. So using probiotics for stress is quite an emerging area. They likely won't be a quick fix, but they could definitely be a helpful add-on for some pets. The biggest thing I advocate for with pets that have severe anxiety is to spend the time and the money and seek help from a qualified professional animal behaviorist. In these instances, don't try to cut corners and take shortcuts and take medications willy-nilly. And please don't seek advice from random groups on social media. Spend the time with a professional, and together you can create a long-term plan and find cues and tips that work specifically for your individual situation. Well, otherwise, frequent vet visits are just gonna be the norm. And some random diarrhea blotches everywhere. Sometimes anxiety in pets is just too much for training and treats to fix. And that's okay. If your dog or cat is still panicking, even after everything that we've discussed so far, it might be time to talk to your vet about medical options. Vets can prescribe safe calming medications that really help your pet feel less scared. Some are daily meds to help with general anxiety, and others are fast-acting, great for like fireworks and vet visits and car rides. Your pet may actually behave differently when giving these meds, so please keep that in mind when you're monitoring them. The goal isn't to medicate them forever, it's to help your pet feel better, build confidence, and then start enjoying life again. Oh, a great one, an amazing technique is what's called a thunder shirt. It's like a vest-like wrap for dogs. You can get it for cats these days, and it applies gentle, constant pressure, similar to swaddling a baby. And it's this pressure that can have a really great calming effect on the nervous system for some animals. Many owners report their dogs visibly relaxing when wearing a thunder shirt during especially firecrackers and travel. It doesn't necessarily work for every single pet, but it's a simple, non-invasive thing to try. Now, although there are instances where this might work, getting another dog or cat is probably not the best idea for most people. I beg you to please reconsider this option before committing to another pet. Here's the more important part: what not to do. Do not punish or scold your pet for anxious behavior. Yelling at a pet, at a dog for barking out of fear, or punishing a cat for spraying or hiding will only intensify their anxiety. They're not being bad, they're just scared. Punishment just adds a new layer of fear. Fear for you and your punishment on top of the original anxiety. And this can totally destroy the trust that you've built up to this point. Do not force your pet into any situations that terrify them, thinking that they'll just get over it. This kind of flooding can really backfire quite badly. Your pet may shut down completely or even just become aggressive towards you out of self-defense. A big one is don't ignore the problem. Hoping that it'll just magically go away might actually lead to it worsening over time and make it even harder when we need to address it later. If your pet is showing these signs of anxiety, take action early. And then never give any human medications or random remedies without a vet's guidance. Medications like Xanax or certain herbal oils like tea tree oil might actually be handy for you in your cabinet, but they can be seriously dangerous and even fatal to some pets. Always check with your veterinarian before giving any sort of human medication or supplement. And then, as we mentioned above, stay consistent. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The slower we take it, the more attention we can give to detail. It's like therapy with you. You don't want a quick fix, necessarily. You want a long-term solution, and that just takes time. There's no one-size-fits-all solution here. You might need to try a combination of approaches to find what works best for you and your pet. But in the end, reducing your pet's anxiety is all about increasing their sense of security and trust. And with consistency, empathy, and the right tools, your anxious pet can improve significantly, and life will be way calmer for you and for them. Speaking of anxiety, I'm getting anxious because you haven't hit the subscribe button yet. We're on the road to hitting 10,000 subscribers and then over to 100,000 subscribers, and I want you to be along for the ride.